So I've been thinking about this recently. Now everybody knows that you go to port vessel after 5 racks. But if you're in this position where Artosis has like a lot of units left over, what if you just expand like super fast? It's not like Zerg's gonna bust you with lurkers. Like they're not gonna make 10 lurkers and attack you at this point. Now that I see the hive, maybe that's not so wise because he does need kit vessels. But you see, we're already floating money. So I feel like possibly when you're in a position like this where you can't really do anything, and it will take them a while to get the followers to your base, why don't you just take, you know, 1 or 2 expansions? They can't do anything. Well, the mutant count is actually pretty high, so maybe not. But in general, I don't think mutant count will usually be that high. It looked like he had the full 12. Yeah, looks like Artosis has only taken maybe slight damage to mutas. He still always builds this bunker. It's not a big deal, but anytime you don't have to spend those 100 minerals is nice. Killing dropships. I actually don't like, in general I don't like dropships. But if you like kill the 3rd base, and then, you know, they're like scrambling to get their other 3rd base up, and they're probably not likely to build Scourge there as their first production from that hatchery, then I like drops.
Yes, sir. Orders, Captain.
Or in a chaotic game, I like drops, but when nothing's really happening, like in that one where you're just sitting around doing nothing really,
Not enough minerals.
it seems like drops wouldn't really do much. On top of it, the guy's gonna have his Nidus up
Not enough minerals.
already. Well, I mean, in general, they'll have their Nidus up, so I guess that doesn't matter.
Not enough minerals.
So we got another Terran again.
Not enough minerals.
Yeah, it looked like he was expanding, like, a little bit after I said he should probably expand. I mean, it was still faster than normal. Usually you kind of expand after your vessels, or if you know, like, nothing's gonna happen, then you can take an expand, like I said.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Orders, Captain. SCV, good to go, sir.
Not enough
I don't know, I just thought about it recently because lately I've actually been missing my factory timing for whatever reason. Normally it's supposed to be like 7:30, and I've accidentally put it down at like 8:30, so then I have all this money built up, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just put down a command center and see how it goes, because I already had map control. I actually like crushed those games, so maybe it was because I had that extra command center. So
additional supply depots required.
Job finished. I read you. Orders, Captain. SCV, good to go, sir. I read you. Affirmative. I read you.
Artos is getting wrecked. Getting wrecked now.
Orders, Captain. Orders, Captain. Orders received. Reporting for duty. SCV, good to go, sir. I read you. I read you. Reporting for duty. I read you. I read you. Reporting for duty. SCV, good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Orders received. Reporting for duty. I read you. Reporting for duty. I read you. Reporting for duty. Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting for duty. I read you.
Not enough
Orders
minerals.
received.
Not enough minerals. Not enough
Reporting for
minerals.
duty. Reporting for duty. SCV, good to
Not
go,
enough
sir.
minerals.
Affirmative. Orders, Captain. Affirmative. Right away, sir. Affirmative. I read you. Orders received. Yes, sir. Reporting for duty.
Looks like I scouted the wrong way.
Not enough
Most likely,
minerals.
unless he just did like a cross scout, which on this map in particular I don't like that because of how big it is, where if you don't scout them, then you are making like a huge second cross scout.
Yes, sir. Job's finished. Order scouter? Yes, sir. Orders received.
Looks like he may have cross scouted, so
Right away, sir. Yes, sir.
as I just talk about cross scouting.
I read you. Job's finished. SCV good to go, sir.
You want a piece of me, boy? Rock and roll.
Order scouter?
Standing by.
Yes, sir.
Not enough
Give me some of
minerals.
this shit.
Job's SCV good to go, sir.
Not enough minerals.
Give me some of this shit.
Yes, sir. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Not enough minerals.
Reporting for duty.
Not enough minerals. Your forces are under attack.
Whoa.
Yes, sir. Roger that. Right away, sir. Roger that. SCV good to go, sir.
This build he's doing doesn't make any sense.
Yes, sir.
It looks like it's one fact, one port.
SCV good to go, sir. SCV
The
good to
fact
go,
that you
sir.
can't build
Want a piece of me, boy?
I read you. Roger that. I read you.
turrets here, I'm actually going to go two port. Normally I think this is basically the worst build you can do, but because of the map and because I'm highly confident it's one port, one fact, we're going to do it.
Not enough minerals.
Orders received.
Commander.
Yes, sir.
Not enough
Could be
minerals.
some kind of weird run by, I guess.
Not enough
I don't think
minerals.
so.
Roger that. Orders received. SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Report for
Additional
duty.
supply depots required.
I read you.
You want a piece of me,
SCV good to go,
boy?
sir.
There it is.
Orders received. I read you.
Commander.
I read you. Affirmative. Job finished. Orders received.
Your forces are under
Right
attack.
away, sir. Orders captain. I read
What is he shooting?
Right away,
Jesus.
sir. Reporting for duty. Job finished. Orders captain. Orders captain. Roger that. I read you. I read you. Reporting for duty. Roger that.
Your forces are under attack.
I read you.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
Reporting for duty. Yes, sir. Job finished. Affirmative.
This is basically why
Affirmative.
race are not good in the beginning, because you see how long he's
Your forces
in my
are under
base.
complete.
The waiting launch.
He's actually killed how many SCVs?
Add-on
Like
complete.
2?
I read you. I can't build there.
Standing by. Reporting in. Coordinates received. Transmit coordinates.
Job yes, sir. Orders captain. I can't build right away, sir. SCV good to go,
I
sir.
want him
Coordinates
to
received.
spam
Go ahead, Commander. Roger.
I read you.
factories.
Add-on complete. Not enough minerals.
Go ahead,
SCV good
Commander.
to go, sir.
Attack formation.
I read you.
That he's wasted so much money on Wraith, and he probably got cloaked, even though he didn't show it.
Go ahead.
SCV good to go, sir. Roger that.
Add-on
I
complete.
want him to scramble to get those factories down.
SCV good to go,
Yep,
sir.
see, that's what I'm talking about.
Go ahead, Commander.
Guess he didn't get cloaked.
Transmit coordinates.
SCV good to go, sir.
Transmit coordinates.
SCV good to go, sir.
Standing by. Read the waiting launch orders. Vector locked in. Attack formation. Vector locked
SCV
in.
good to go, sir. Reporting for duty.
Reporting in.
I read you.
Read
Reporting
the
for
waiting
duty.
launch orders. Coordinates received. Reporting in. Vector
SCV good
locked
to go,
in.
sir.
Reporting in. Roger.
Research complete.
Standing by. Attack formation. Roger.
SCV good to go, sir.
And he built turrets, so this is good for me.
Reporting for duty. Yes, sir.
Ready to roll out. Orders, sir. Moving.
Reporting for duty.
Standing by.
SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty.
Reporting in. Orders, sir.
Research complete.
Go ahead.
SCV good to go, sir.
Coordinates received.
Yes, sir. Job orders, Captain.
Standing by. Coordinates received.
Can I read you?
Ready to roll out.
SCV good to go, sir.
Standing by.
Unacceptable
Yes,
order
sir.
design.
Reporting for duty. Affirmative. Roger
Go
that.
ahead, Commander. Yes, sir.
SCV good to go, sir.
Yes, sir. Sector locked in. All right. Bring it on. Yes, sir. Coordinates
Destination.
identify target. Locked in.
Yes, sir. Job finished. SCV good to go, sir.
Go ahead.
Can I read you? Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Roger.
Can I read you?
Actually don't like his attack at all.
Research complete.
What do you want?
He's basically just gambling.
For duty.
I'll read you, sir. Attack formation. I did. Oh, is that it? Coordinates.
SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir. I can feel that.
Standing by. Yeah.
SCV good to go, sir. I can't feel that.
I'll read you, sir. Ready to roll
Your
out.
forces are under attack.
Destination.
SCV good to go, sir.
Sir. Go ahead. All right. Bring it on. Roger.
Yes, sir.
Standing by. Orders, sir.
SCV good to go, sir.
Your forces are
Yes,
under
sir.
attack.
Orders received.
Orders, sir. I read yes, sir. Move it. What do you want? Rosie.
Add-on complete.
Can I read you?
Your forces are under
Reporting for
attack.
duty. Orders received.
Yes, sir.
Reporting for duty.
Ready to roll
Reporting
out.
for duty. Orders received. Orders received.
What do you
SCV
want?
good to go, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right. Bring it on. Yes, sir.
Basically what I'm talking about is suicide units.
SCV good to go,
Orders,
sir.
sir. Delighted to, sir.
SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty. Orders received.
Something on your mind? Ready to roll out.
Orders, Captain.
Destination.
SCV
Identify
good to go,
target.
sir.
Something on your mind? Destination.
go, sir.
Something on your mind? What do you want? No problem.
SCV good to go, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Move it.
SCV good to go,
Orders,
sir.
sir.
Absolutely
Roll
crazy.
it, sir. What do you want?
Can I read
Yes,
you?
sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. Proceeding. Move it. Proceeding.
Your forces are under attack.
Yeah, I'm going. Destination.
SCV
Move
good
it.
to go, sir.
Orders, sir. Delighted to, sir. Orders, sir. Proceeding. All right. Bring it on.
SCV good to go, sir.
Ready to roll out. Absolutely. Yeah.
SCV good to go, sir.
Sir.
Not enough
Something on your
minerals.
mind? Move it. All right. Bring it on. Proceeding.
SCV good to go,
Absolutely.
sir.
Proceeding. Delighted to, sir. Bring it on.
Yes, sir. Orders
Your
received.
forces are under attack.
What do you want? Roll out. Something on your mind? Destination.
Good to go, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going. Identify target. Problem. Move it.
Orders, Captain.
Not enough
Yes,
minerals.
sir. I read you, sir.
SCV good to go, sir.
Bring it on. No problem.
Yes, sir. SCV good to go,
I
sir.
actually have a lot of money.
Ready to roll
Additional
out.
supply forces are under
Orders,
attack.
Captain.
Orders, sir.
Reporting for duty.
Orders, sir.
Orders, Captain.
Not enough minerals supply depots
Good to go,
required.
sir. SCV good to go, sir.
No problem. Orders, destination. Proceeding.
Not enough energy.
Reporting for duty.
Additional supply depots
I
required.
used up all my scans somehow.
Proceeding. What do you want? Move it. Delighted. Something on your mind?
Can I read you? Reporting for
Your
duty.
forces are
Orders,
under
sir.
attack.
What do you want? Orders, sir. I read you, sir.
Orders, Captain.
All right. Orders, sir.
Not enough
What do you
energy.
want? Identify target. What do you want? Orders, sir. All right. Bring it on. Yeah.
Your forces are under
Yes, sir.
attack.
Identify target. Destination.
Job finished.
I don't even have a...
Destination. Proceed.
Huh.
Something on your
Your
mind.
forces are under attack.
Destination. Delighted to, sir.
That's my bad for not making an armory.
Roll out. Ready to roll out.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Yes, sir. Proceeding. Delighted to, sir.
Job finished. I can't feel that.
Your forces are under attack.
Good to
Yes,
go,
sir.
sir.
Ready to roll out.
I'm listening.
Identify target.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Orders,
Your
sir.
forces are under attack.
Yes, sir.
SCV, good to
Go
go,
ahead,
sir.
HQ. Strap
Yes,
yourself
sir.
in.
Yes, sir.
Ready to roll out. Transmit course.
Your
Wow, that's a
forces are
lot
under
of raid.
attack.
Yes, sir. Orders received. Right away, sir.
Proceeding.
Reporting for duty. Orders,
Your
Captain.
forces are
Ready to
under
roll
attack.
out. Proceeding. Absolutely. Something on your mind?
4-port raid.
Destination. Identify
What?
target. Yes, sir. Destination. Move it.
Reporting
Ready
for
to
duty.
roll
I
out.
read you.
Your forces are under attack.
Identify target.
Yes, sir.
Ready to roll out. Yes, sir. Move
Your
it.
forces are under attack.
I read you. Job finished. Job
Destination.
finished. Orders, Captain.
Destination. Proceeding.
Your forces are under attack.
Proceeding. Absolutely.
Built too many raids.
Delighted to, sir. Yes, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Ready to roll out. Orders, sir.
Job finished.
Destination. Orders, sir. Ready to roll out.
Orders received.
Yes, sir.
Good to go, sir.
Yes, sir. Orders, sir. Proceeding.
Orders, Captain.
Destination. I read you, sir.
SCV, good to
Something
go,
on your
sir.
mind? Yes, sir. Destination.
SCV, good to go, sir.
Identify target. Move it.
Your forces are under attack.
SCV, good to go, sir.
Identify target. Yes,
Good to
sir.
go, sir.
What are these doing?
Not enough energy.
Yes, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
What do you want? Yes, sir. Proceed.
I read you.
Your forces are under
Something
attack.
on your mind? Oh, is that it? No problem. Destination.
I read you. I can't feel that. Reporting for duty. SCV, good to go,
Identify
sir.
target. Yeah.
I read you. Right away, sir.
Orders, sir. Ready to roll out.
Your forces are under attack.
Orders, Captain.
Proceeding.
Not enough minerals.
Identify target. Delighted to, sir. Absolutely. Proceeding. Delighted to, sir. Absolutely.
Not enough energy.
I read you. Right away, sir.
What do you want?
I read you. Reporting for duty.
Ready to roll
Reporting for
out.
duty. Orders,
Not
Captain.
enough minerals.
Job finished.
Something on your mind?
Complete.
Reporting for duty. Orders received.
Not enough energy.
Reporting for duty. I read you.
All right, bring it on.
Reporting for duty. Right away, sir.
Why is my... It's not hotkey.
Ready to roll out.
It's like this base is hidden also.
Move it. Ready to roll
Your
out.
forces are under
Destination.
attack.
Orders, Captain. Reporting for duty.
Identify
Can't feel
target.
it. Something's in the
Orders,
way.
sir. Delighted to,
Job
sir.
finished. Orders, Captain.
Yes, sir. sir. Orders, sir.
Your forces are under
Orders,
attack.
sir. Absolutely.
Well, looks like we're not gonna go air.
Roger that.
I was going to.
Sir, something on your mind? Yes, sir.
Seems like that's not what I should do. I don't even know if this guy has cloak.
Ready to roll out.
Job
I
finished.
read you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can I read you?
Identify target.
Orders, Captain?
Goliath online.
Yes, sir. Roger that. Right away, sir. Orders received. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Delighted to, sir. Yes, sir. Moving. Absolutely. Orders, sir. Yes,
Your
sir.
forces are under attack.
Job finished.
Complete.
Yes, sir.
Job
Orders,
finished.
sir.
Comlink online.
Job finished. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Not
I
enough
can't build
minerals.
there. Job finished.
Something on your
Systems
mind?
functional.
Your forces are under attack.
Comlink online.
Yes,
Systems
sir.
functional.
Delighted to, sir.
TACOM.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Goliath
Yes,
online.
Your forces are under attack.
Job finished.
Ready to roll out. Orders, sir.
Reporting for duty.
Channel open.
Orders, sir.
Confirmed. Target designated.
Destination.
Job
Acknowledged.
finished.
Valkyrie, prepare.
TACOM lost.
Job finished.
Go ahead, TACOM.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Goliath
sir.
online.
Delighted to, sir. Orders, sir. Proceeding.
Go ahead, TACOM.
Orders, sir. Proceeding.
Channel open.
Yes, sir. Roger that.
Go ahead, TACOM. Goliath online.
Valkyrie, prepared.
Goliath
Ready to
online.
roll out.
Need something destroyed? Jawohl.
Identify target. Destination. Yes, sir.
Don't keep me waiting. It's
Can't
showtime.
build there.
Destination.
Job
Perfect.
finished. Orders, Captain? Orders, Captain?
Your forces are under attack.
Need something
Identify
destroyed?
target.
Target designated.
Don't keep me waiting. Perfect.
Goliath
Not
online.
enough energy.
Yes, sir. Moving.
Valkyrie,
Yes, sir.
prepare.
Build there.
Identify
Job finished.
target.
Add-on complete.
Destination. Identify
Not enough
target.
minerals.
Moving.
Need something destroyed? Perfect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Proceeding. Moving. Go ahead, Commander.
Achtung. Need something destroyed?
Destination.
Achtung.
Orders, sir. Identify target. Orders, sir.
Goliath online.
Identify target. Proceeding.
Comlink online.
Orders, sir.
Comlink online. Channel open.
Destination.
Systems
Yes, sir.
functional.
Destination. Proceeding.
Yes, sir. Orders
Yes,
received.
sir. Moving.
Reporting for duty. Orders received.
Identify target.
Don't keep me waiting.
Your forces are
Orders,
under
sir.
attack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Moving. Delighted to, sir. Reporting in.
Don't keep me waiting. Achtung. Of course, mynheer. Don't keep me waiting.
Job finished.
Need something destroyed?
Destination. Identify target. Delighted
Don't
to,
keep
sir.
me waiting.
Job finished.
Your forces are under attack.
Identify target. Absolutely. Orders, sir. Orders, sir. Identify target. Delighted to, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Identify target. Delighted to, sir.
Don't keep me
Comlink
waiting.
online.
Orders, sir.
Of course, mynheer.
Orders, sir.
Base is under attack.
Can I read you? Orders received. Can I read you?
Yes, sir. Destination. Yes, sir.
Don't
Orders,
keep me
Captain?
waiting.
Goliath online.
Need something
Goliath
destroyed.
online.
Read the
SCV
waiting
good to go,
launch
sir.
orders.
Yes, sir. Delighted to, sir.
Need something destroyed.
Yes, go by.
Delighted to, sir.
Achtung.
Your forces are under attack.
Eager to hit.
Delighted to, sir.
SCV good to go, sir.
Moving.
Read the waiting launch.
Identify target.
System functional.
Achtung. It's showtime.
Reporting for duty. I can't build there.
Don't keep me waiting.
Transmit coordinates.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Delighted to, sir.
Need something
Your
destroyed.
forces are under attack.
Delighted to, sir. Destination. Identify target. Yes, sir.
Goliath online.
Your forces are under attack.
Ready to roll out.
Jawohl.
Orders, sir. Identify target. Yes, sir. Proceed.
Well, you can't move.
Absolutely.
Eager to hit.
Yes, sir.
Calling online.
Destination. Moving. Proceeding.
Your forces are under attack.
Absolutely. Delighted to, sir. Proceed. Roll out.
Upgrade complete. Not enough energy.
Go ahead, Quinn.
Orders, sir. Absolutely.
Capcom locked.
Yes, sir.
Capcom locked.
Standing by.
Not enough
Go
energy.
ahead, Quinn.
Orders, sir.
Can I read you?
Goliath
Orders,
online.
Captain. Job finished.
Ready to roll out.
Report.
Orders, sir.
Online.
Your forces are under
Destination.
attack.
SCV good to go, sir. I can't build there. Orders,
Yes,
Captain.
sir.
The waiting
Yes,
launch
sir.
orders.
Reporting for duty.
Identify target.
Reporting for
Absolutely.
duty.
Your
There.
forces are under attack.
Identify target.
Can I read you? Affirmative.
Systems functional.
Can I read you?
Goliath online.
Not enough minerals.
Oh, he actually has a bunch of factories there.
Functional.
Move it.
Can I read you? Roger that. Affirmative.
Orders, sir.
Read the waiting launch orders.
Not enough energy.
Valkyrie, prepare.
Orders, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Orders, sir. Destination.
SCV good to go, sir.
Delighted to, sir.
Goliath online.
Standing by.
I am eager to hit.
Identify target.
I am eager to hit.
Destination. Absolutely.
SCV good to
Ready
go,
to
sir.
roll out.
Not enough energy.
Can I read you?
Destination. Destination. Destination.
Keep me waiting.
Not enough energy.
Absolutely.
Orders,
Identify
Captain.
target.
There. Roger that.
Yes, sir.
Your forces are under attack.
Job finished.
Delighted to, sir. Yes, sir. Destination. Move it. Destination.
Something destroyed.
Coordinates.
Destination. Absolutely.
Showtime.
Ready to roll out.
I am eager to hit.
Identify target. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
That's not where I wanted to go, but if we can get that run by going, maybe it'll work.
Need something destroyed.
He's gonna be like, how the hell did these get up here?
Proceeding.
I don't know either.
Orders, sir.
Transmit coordinates.
Delighted to, sir.
Attack formation.
Goliath online.
Additional supply depots required. Not enough energy. Your forces are under attack.
Yes, ready to roll
Additional
out.
supply depots
Identify
required.
target. Destination.
Go ahead, Capcom.
Attack formation.
Orders, sir. Yes, sir. Destination. Identify target.
Online.
Destination. Absolutely. Proceeding.
Systems
Yes, sir.
functional.
Your forces are under attack.
Orders, sir. Yes, sir.
Additional supply depots required.
Road destination. Orders, sir. Identify target. Moving.
Your forces are under attack.
Delatitude, sir. Yes, sir.
I actually think I got lucky that game. He had a lot of bases, and his movement was pretty good. I think he lost just because too much gas on race in the beginning. He had no tanks in the beginning. I want to know how fast he took bottom right. I don't think he needed 4-port Wraith or whatever it was. I think if he had just produced off 2, that would have been enough, and then he could have kept his tank count up and then gotten like a contain faster, possibly. Also, my money was kind of low, even though I had so many bases, and I only had 7 factories. I don't know. Well, I mean, I was floating like 2K, but normally if I had 7 factories on what, like 6 base, you wouldn't just be floating on the 2K, you'd be floating a lot. Look at that call on the Wraith. I was like, 1 port, 1 fact. I actually thought it was going to be cloak and 1 fact. And if he had done that, then all these factories would have never gotten down. He probably maybe would have gotten 1 down, and then he would have been really screwed because he'd never be able to attack me. These attacks he kept doing, I don't get them at all. Sure, I'm trading SCVs, but I've had the command center a lot longer than he has. I just forgot to get add-ons on these 2 factories early. And I also forgot to get upgrades forever. This is what I'm talking about. He has so many wraiths. Look at my tank count compared to his tank count. But for some reason, these Goliaths that were in the back didn't follow. I guess it doesn't matter because I still would have lost all those units. Apparently 3 tanks on the high ground and a couple of Goliaths are pretty strong. He had the same amount of factories as me. Five port Wraith. Looks like my SCV count was a bit low, like 15 lower than it should have been. Then I would have been banking a ton. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I guess he went vultures because he was building race non-stop. And after I killed his Nat, then he was on 4 gas, which is still a lot. But you can't produce non-stop race and like a couple tanks. And tanks all the time. Like, you need a lot more gas than that.